On the night of January 2, 2026, the city of Caracas, Venezuela, was shrouded in an uneasy calm. The city's millions of residents were settling in for the night, unaware that within moments their world would be turned upside down. Suddenly, the silence was shattered. Caracas was rocked by a series of powerful explosions that echoed across the city, lighting up the skyline and sending shockwaves through every neighborhood. Just before midnight, multiple blasts erupted around Fuerte Tiuna, the heavily fortified heart of Venezuela's military establishment. The compound, long considered impenetrable, was now engulfed in fire and smoke, its defenses seemingly overwhelmed in an instant. Sirens wailed through the streets. As emergency vehicles raced toward the chaos, citizens scrambled for information, desperately trying to reach loved ones. Phone lines were jammed and the internet began to fail, leaving millions in the dark, both literally and figuratively. Grainy cell phone videos quickly surfaced online, showing thick plumes of smoke and brilliant flashes lighting up the night sky. The footage, shaky and raw, captured the terror and confusion of those witnessing the events firsthand. Sporadic gunfire rang out, punctuated by secondary explosions. The sounds of conflict echoed off the city's concrete walls, deepening the sense of chaos and fear. No one knew where to run or who to trust. Rumors spread like wildfire. Was this a coup attempt, a catastrophic accident, or the result of foreign intervention? Confused crowds gathered in public spaces, their faces illuminated by the glow of television screens and smartphones, searching for answers that weren't coming. Then, in a stunning twist, former U.S. President Donald Trump posted online, claiming that Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro had been captured in a daring U.S. operation. The post went viral within minutes, fueling speculation and panic both inside Venezuela and around the world. The unverified claim instantly transformed a local crisis into a global flashpoint. Newsrooms across the world erupted into chaos as journalists scrambled to verify the story, aware that the implications could be enormous. Media outlets everywhere rushed to confirm the report, but official channels in both Venezuela and the United States remained silent. The lack of information only deepened the uncertainty as speculation filled the void. As dawn broke over Caracas, the full extent of the night's destruction became visible. Smoke still rose from damaged military sites, and the fate of President Maduro remained a mystery. The city awoke to a new reality, one marked by confusion, fear, and unanswered questions. The Venezuelan government issued no statement, and the U.S. offered neither confirmation nor denial. The silence from both sides was deafening, fueling even more speculation and anxiety. On the streets, people moved cautiously, their faces etched with worry. The city was gripped by fear, uncertainty, and a fog of propaganda that made it impossible to separate fact from fiction. The truth of what happened that night remained elusive. As the smoke lingered over Caracas, so too did the unanswered questions, leaving a city and a world waiting for answers that might never come. The crisis unfolded with shocking speed, catching both citizens and officials off guard. What began as a seemingly ordinary night would soon spiral into chaos, with events escalating minute by minute. At exactly 11:45 p.m., residents living near the Fuerte Tiuna military complex first noticed the ominous hum of engines in the distance. The sound was unfamiliar, low, persistent, and growing louder with each passing second. Suddenly, the sky was pierced by the roar of low-flying, unlit aircraft. Within minutes, a series of powerful explosions erupted at the military base and in nearby neighborhoods, sending shockwaves that rattled windows and set off car alarms across Caracas. Flames and thick smoke quickly filled the night skyline, while widespread power outages plunged entire districts into darkness. Emergency lights flickered as residents scrambled to understand what was happening. Reports soon emerged of anti-aircraft gunfire, echoing through the city. Panic spread as chaotic scenes unfolded on the streets. Civilians running for cover, emergency vehicles racing to the affected areas, and confusion mounting everywhere. At 1:30 a.m., the crisis took a dramatic turn when President Trump announced, via both television and social media, that Maduro had been captured. This claim sent shockwaves through the international community and shifted the narrative overnight. As the night wore on, the frequency of explosions gradually decreased, but the city was far from calm. Heavily armed military vehicles began patrolling the streets, and soldiers established checkpoints, their presence a stark reminder of the ongoing uncertainty. Throughout the night, state television played only patriotic music and displayed nationalistic graphics, offering no real information or updates. The silence from official sources only deepened the sense of confusion and fear. As dawn broke, the city awoke to a surreal calm. The world watched and waited for clarity, while exhausted residents emerged into the streets, still reeling from the night's events and desperate for answers. With no official statements forthcoming, Journalists and citizens alike turned to social media, where rumors and speculation filled the void left by the government's silence. The crisis was far from over. The city remained tense, with uncertainty hanging in the air and the true scope of the events still unknown. In the chaos, separating fact from rumor is crucial. What's confirmed? Multiple explosions hit Caracas, mainly at Fuerte Tiuna, with real video evidence and eyewitness accounts. Low-flying aircraft were heard before the blasts, but their origin is unknown. Power outages, and a heightened security alert followed. The claim of U.S. involvement remains unverified, no official confirmation from Washington. The assertion that Maduro was captured comes only from Trump's social media, with no supporting evidence. Maduro's absence fuels speculation, but there's no proof of his capture. Rumors swirl, but facts are scarce. The city remains tense, and the world waits for concrete answers. Verification is slow, but essential. For now, the truth is buried beneath confusion and propaganda. The Venezuelan government's response was slow and ambiguous. Hours after the attacks, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez appeared on TV, condemning a cowardly terrorist attack and blaming the US and Colombia. She declared a state of emergency, granting sweeping powers to security forces. Defense Minister Pedrino Lopez insisted the military remained loyal and deployed troops to secure key sites. Both officials avoided direct questions about Maduro's whereabouts, insisting he was safe, but offering no proof. No audio or video of Maduro was shown. The government closed ranks, pointed fingers at foreign enemies, and left the nation guessing. The state of emergency deepened uncertainty. The fate of the president remained the biggest unanswered question. Venezuela braced for what might come next. The world reacted with alarm and caution. Cuba quickly condemned the attack and blamed U.S. imperialism, expressing solidarity with Maduro. Colombia denied involvement, called for calm, and urged an emergency OAS meeting. Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico called for restraint and an independent investigation. Russia and China warned against foreign intervention and called for dialogue. The U.S. government remained silent, offering no confirmation or denial. The lack of a clear American response fueled speculation. International uncertainty grew as rumors spread. The region watched, waiting for Washington to break its silence. The stakes for Venezuela and the world were rising. This crisis is the result of years of mounting U.S.-Venezuela hostility. The U.S. has long opposed Maduro's government, calling it corrupt and undemocratic. Washington recognized opposition leader Juan Guaidó in 2019, escalating tensions. Sanctions crippled Venezuela's economy, targeting oil, finance, and officials. The Maduro government blamed these sanctions for the country's humanitarian crisis. U.S. officials repeatedly hinted at possible military intervention. In 2020, the U.S. indicted Maduro on narco-terrorism charges, offering a reward for his arrest. Caracas accused Washington of plotting coups and assassination attempts. Recent months saw increased U.S. surveillance near Venezuela and heightened military alerts. The stage was set for confrontation. Last night's explosions were the spark in a long, smoldering conflict. In crises like this, misinformation spreads fast. Social media amplifies both eyewitness accounts and rumors. Journalists must verify facts before reporting, and audiences should question every source. Official statements may serve political agendas. Eyewitnesses see only part of the picture. Political figures often have motives beyond the truth. Patience is vital. Facts emerge slowly, not all at once. The truth will come in fragments through careful investigation. Ask, who is saying this? What's their evidence? What's their motive? Only by questioning can we see through the fog and find the real story. As dawn breaks over Caracas, the city wakes to uncertainty and fear. Here's what's clear so far. Overnight, a series of powerful explosions rocked the Venezuelan capital, shattering the uneasy calm and sending shockwaves through the city's streets. The Fuerte Tiuna military base, a symbol of government power, was directly hit. Emergency vehicles rushed to the scene as authorities scrambled to assess the situation. In response, the government swiftly declared a state of emergency, urging citizens to remain indoors and avoid speculation. International reactions have been swift and intense. World leaders are calling for calm, and newsrooms across the globe are on high alert. Yet despite the flood of headlines, the facts remain frustratingly few and far between. We still don't know who's responsible for the attack. Accusations have been hurled at the United States, but so far, no evidence has been presented, and Washington remains silent, offering no official comment. The fate of President Nicolas Maduro is shrouded in mystery. Rumors swirl about his whereabouts, and while former President Trump has claimed Maduro's capture, there is no independent verification of this bold assertion. The full extent of the damage is still being determined. Emergency responders are combing through rubble, but reports of casualties and destruction remain unconfirmed. The next few hours will be absolutely critical. Newsrooms are tense, journalists are racing against the clock, and every new detail could shift the narrative. The world is waiting for an official statement from the United States, and for concrete proof regarding Maduro's fate. Until then, speculation fills the void. On the streets, anxiety is palpable. Citizens are gathering, police and military forces are on high alert, and everyone is bracing for what might come next, whether it's a return to order or a slide into chaos. Will the military remain loyal to the government? Will mass protests erupt in the coming hours? Or could this crisis spiral into something even more dangerous? The situation is fragile, and the risk of miscalculation is higher than ever. Every decision made now could have lasting consequences for Venezuela and beyond. For now, we report only what we can independently verify. Rumors are everywhere, but facts are scarce. In times like these, it's more important than ever to follow trusted sources and avoid misinformation as the story continues to unfold. The future of Venezuela, and the stability of the entire region, hangs in the balance. The decisions made in the coming days will shape the course of history. We'll keep watching, reporting, and seeking the truth as it emerges, because in moments like this, clarity is everything.